Hey, how you doing? Melchizedek Todd here. Last video I did like a brief history of weaponpress.com, how it started, even though I probably should have got a little bit more detail. Here's Allegory of the Way, Angels and Souls, Volume 1, The Cut. Um, the first volume didn't have all the special features you want to call them, like the extra artwork and so forth in this, but I wanted to share the way Allegories of the way Weapon Press actually started. Uh, At first, actually, it was just me drawing it. Me developing this idea. I told you it was going to be a very long epic. Then made it to like short stories. Okay. Now, before then, I had to draw everything. And so what I did, I spent probably if you can believe it or not, I spent actually a few years drawing Weapon Press before I even started looking for a publisher. I wanted to have certain pages done because for me it's like you always got to you can't sell anything if you don't have the produce. You got to have something to sell. And I always I knew people who were like dream of these great things, but they would never produce. You can't do that. You I it is great to dream, but then it gets to a point where there's reality, and reality is you got to actually work and do something about it to make that dream come true. And so what I did, I spent about 3 years just working on pages. I can't remember how many pages I got done. Not that much. I think maybe about like I want to say close to like six short stories or six, yeah, about six. It should maybe like about I don't know, 100 something pages done before I actually presented it to a publisher. And what happened was, I was sent to a lot of publishers and I was rejected, a lot. And it was, very discouraging. I went through, a lot of Christian publishers, of course, and, the stuff I kind of do isn't really the most common stuff for Christian publishers to publish, which a number of them wrote me back saying, which was fine. Um, but I just kept on going. I wasn't discouraged. I just kept on working on Allegories of the Way. And but then I did meet a publisher. I was going to a church. I met someone who actually did have a publishing company, and he was going to post Allegories of the Way. And this is just a side story of it, that he wanted me to change some things. You know, like he really didn't want me to mention God in the first story, which was endurance. He kind of felt like, well, if you show this to people, if you don't mention God yet, then you suck people in, they'll start collecting it, and then you can mention God, and kind of like say you're a Christian and so forth. And this was a Christian publisher who was telling me this, and I thought about it, and I prayed about it. I just felt like I can't do that. I just felt like that, the verse, you deny, God, Jesus will deny you in front of God. I mean, I probably didn't get the verse right, but pretty much, you deny God, you're gonna be, He's gonna deny you. And it's like I can't do that. And so I was going to tell him that the next day, which probably would have meant, he wouldn't publish my stuff. But I was like, well, I'd rather obey God and not, deny Him than have my stuff published. And so, but before I even, had to tell him that, I guess God talked to him and told him not to do that. And so, anyway, so endurance, was going to be exactly how it was meant to be, and straight about God, and so forth. Now, maybe after a year or so, maybe less, I'm trying to remember. Actually, this publisher fell through too, and so that was very discouraging. And so that's when I thought, I'd rather just publish it myself. And so that's where, told you before how John Kenhart got me the iMac, and I made my website and I started posting it probably around like, I don't know, maybe 2004, 2000, yeah, it's about 2004. I started posting Allegories of the Way, and then I started using like Stan McGurlow, then got me like the great Dell, like a monster machine with all the Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop, and I was, it was I guess you want to say a game changer, and so then I just started putting it, still putting it online and so forth, but I could build a better website and have more space and eventually color, which I did, like I said, years later. But the main thing, I guess I want to say it was definitely a process, to get just to get it online. It took like a number of years. And I think that's the hard thing for people. They don't realize that to achieve your goals, to achieve your dreams, that sometimes it takes years. Years of a process. Like I said, I spent like 3 years, doing all this work, believing it was going to get published. you know, um, by a publisher, and it didn't work out. Things changed. But I still believed, and I still worked hard on it. A lot of people, they have a hard time having, I guess you want to say, having faith, and doing something without having a quick reward. But those of you who do comic books, it's not a quick reward. It takes a long time, to finish a comic book. So much involved into it. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. I guess that's a little bit more detail about the history of weaponpress.com. Right here, you're looking at, like I said, Glories of the Way, Volume 1. And I guess this video was supposed to be talking more about Allegories of the Way, but I think I'll do more of that with the next video. Hey, sorry. I had to add actually something on. Actually, I did get another publisher a little bit after I was online, and I was just publisher, I guess. I won't go into the details. Maybe for a couple years, and actually that kind of fell through too, for different reasons, which I won't go into about it. But anyway, I went back to me publishing it myself, and I'm still pushing it online. Um, but I wanted, I'm trying to remember like 14 years of, or I guess 15 years of history. Is sometimes sometimes you just forget about stuff. Like I'm trying not to forget about things, but new things kind of come in my head. Like, wait a minute, that happened, and then that happened. You know, because I'm not trying to make these videos that long. You know, but I'm just trying to share, the history and as much stuff as I can about what happened.